So the previous video was interrupted for a second. So I finish with Adam Smith, and from Adam Smith we move on to one of the most famous and infamous thinkers, political thinkers of all times, which is Karl Marx. So Karl Marx was a German philosopher who studied in England and did most of his work in England. And he observed how the English working class was oppressed. And he made a very weird theory that said that the problem was that capitalists, the owners of a factory, were extracting all the surplus from the work of workers, and that basically all workers are exploited if they're not paid enough. Okay, and so he was saying that the solution to this was that the proletariat, the poor, the workers, take the means of production. Factories become basically public. Factories become factories of the people, democratic factories, and it's the people who decide what to produce. Okay, um, and he thought that this would lead to a society without a state where the people would like rule themselves. And he also said that the end of capitalism was near in the 19th century. As we know, the end of capitalism was nowhere near. Okay, capitalism has survived to this day, is alive and well, although with some periodical financial and economic crisis. Okay, um, what was the problem with Marx? What did Marx not understand? Marx didn't understand that when they tried to do this experiment in real life, like in the Soviet Union and in China, did this not bring to a stateless society, but it led to a hyper state, to a very strong state. So it's why today communist is a bad word, because under communism there was no personal liberty, no personal freedom, and also there was poverty. Okay, because communism was not able to provide for the people, because only the elites that were on top were able to have a comfortable lifestyle. Everybody else had some things such as education and healthcare at decent levels, but then didn't have enough clothes, didn't have enough food. There were long lines at supermarkets and stuff. Okay, so I'm jumping ahead a little bit and giving you like a 30-second lecture about the end of communism. Okay, uh, after Marx, who is the original communist and socialist and who was also hated by a lot because he was very anti-religion, uh, we have Alexis de Tocqueville, whom I've mentioned briefly in my previous video. Okay, what do we need to remember about Tocqueville? Tocqueville has to be remembered about this idea that the strength of democracy in the US as opposed to tyranny in other countries in the 19th century was the fact that people in the US created a lot of associations, and so we're part of what is known as the civil society. Okay, basically the idea is that if we talk to each other, if we create associations, if we are good at ruling our own hometown, then our country is going to be more democratic and is going to work better. Okay, so think about yourselves. Are you involved in some activity? Are you involved in some volunteering? Are you involved in some political activity, in some charity of some sorts? Tocqueville would say to you, if you are, then you are making our society, our politics better. Okay. Two more short mentions before I'm done with this video. Two German thinkers of the 19th century, early 20th century that were very important. Durkheim. Durkheim is the one who came up with the idea that social facts or ideas that are floating around us, such as the religion that we follow or our ideology or the general mood of the community around us, are they optimistic or pessimistic? Are they democratic or authoritarian? Is as important as the amount of money that we have, as the amount of resources that we have. So he said that social facts are as important as real facts. Okay? And last, Weber was the first one to realize that maybe capitalism and the birth of like modern economy and modern politics was an outcome of religion, of Protestantism. Because Protestants were basically believing, after the church broke into the Catholics on one side and the Protestants on the other side, they basically believed that through hard work and saving money, you would get to paradise, you would get to heaven. Okay, and because of this, accidentally, Protestants became capitalists because this was a very good way, Working hard and saving money is a very good way for having a lot of money and giving a lot of money to your children. Okay? The other idea that Weber is remembered for is also that power is nothing if you don't also have authority. Okay? You can be as powerful as you want, but if people don't recognize your power, then you're basically powerless. Okay? This is it for week 1. If you have any question, shoot me an email. And my office hours are on Tuesday, January 8th from 10 to 12 and will be on Tuesday every week. I'm looking forward to reading your comments about all of this and about all of the readings, and hopefully we will get Ravel set up soon.